When Gabriel Magalhaes stepped up at Granja Comari and called Carlo Ancelotti like a father, it was more than a compliment. It was a window into how this Brazil squad is changing under new stewardship. That simple phrase helps explain why a team already through to the World Cup is suddenly talking about unity, responsibility, and finishing qualifying with authority rather than complacent. Ancelotti arrived with a reputation for calm control and man management, and players who once treated coaches as instructors now describe someone who sits with them, laughs with them, and insists on understanding each player up close. That approach shows up in small things, training intensity, off-the-field routines, the way defensive pairings communicate, and it shows up in bigger choices, like how senior defenders relate to emerging talent pushing for minutes. Which brings us to the tactical heartbeat of this story, Brazil's defence. On paper it looks settled, but underneath there's a quietly fierce competition. Gabriel's presence at Arsenal and his composed reading of the game have made him a pillar, but the rise of Alexandro, hungry, technically sharp and thriving at Lille, means no place is safe. That dynamic matters because in the coming match the defence won't be tested only by an opponent's attack. It will be tested by the environment itself. Alto sits at an altitude that strips freshness out of legs and makes the simplest sprints feel like a sprint through molasses. Teams visiting Bolivia have historically struggled. It's a place where physical preparation collides with mental resolve and where a calm, organised backline can reduce panic and keep a team competitive even when the oxygen is low. So what's the playbook? First, there's the psychological edge that a manager like Ancelotti can provide. When players believe a leader has their back, when training is structured and roles are clear, the squad converts anxiety into routine. Magalhaes' words suggest the Brazilian dressing room is buying into that leadership. Second, tactical discipline becomes paramount. Short passing, controlled possession, smart rotation, and conservative pressing to preserve energy. That's where experience matters. A defender who can anticipate and neutralize threats without frantic chasing helps the whole team breathe easier. Third, the emerging talent angle, Alexandro pushing, others competing, forces established to keep standards high. Competition sharpens focus, and that's exactly what Brazil will need when breathing is the real opponent. But the story isn't just about survival. Brazil has a chance to send a message that a team coached by Ancelotti can handle extremes and still play with the identity fans expect. Winning in El Alto would be a tidy demonstration that tactical calm, man management, and a belief in collective responsibility trump panic. It would also be a rehearsal for the World Cup, an opportunity to test rotation policies, defensive partnerships, and how the team responds when the margin for error evaporates. Even more, the match offers a human subplot. Will a player like Alexandro force his way into future plans? Will Gabriel lean into leadership and help others perform under pressure? Those micro-stories are the narratives that carry beyond the final whistle. For viewers, the match becomes more than a scoreboard item. It becomes a study in leadership under stress. If Ancelotti's a father figure role is real, we'll see its fingerprints. Calmer substitutions, smarter risk management, and a team that treats a hostile pitch like another training challenge rather than a calamity. If it's not, the altitude will expose cracks, and those cracks will matter much more than a single qualifying result. Brazil's obligation, as Magalhaes put it, is to wear the jersey with responsibility, and tomorrow in El Alto that responsibility will be measured in every sprint, every clearance, and every composed pass. The angle that matters is not merely who starts or who scores, but whether this new Brazil can prove its unity is more than words. Whether leadership, competition and preparation together can conquer one of football's harshest proving grounds.